Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Excuse the state, I've just woken up in Innsbruck today. I know it's been a while since I've posted, especially on TikTok, but I'm back now. I just left Switzerland yesterday, and yeah, I thought I'd show you some clips of what I've been up to. Just ticking off the end of Chamonix and going over what happened in Switzerland. So this is going back to the end of my Chamonix trip where I had a nice visit from Ben and Dan. I know the video isn't great quality, but the views at the Latour bike park overlooking the Chamonix Valley were absolutely unreal. We had an absolute blast. And I only went over the handlebars 5 times. And then unfortunately Dan broke his bike on the way back, so we were forced to go to the Alpine Zoo and swimming pool in Les Marcottes. Me and Dan both learnt to backflip here, and this is probably the coolest pool I've ever been in, the way they make it look so natural and just the surrounding views. After all that, we were quite tired and we decided we need some fuel before we went out to watch France whoop Morocco. This was a beautiful little venue and the scenes were unreal when France scored. And after all of that, it was time to leave for Switzerland. It was quite sad saying goodbye to Chamonix, but I was very excited to go to Switzerland. And then after a short 4-hour journey of 4 different trains, I made it to Lauterbrunnen, where I was staying at Camping Jungfrau, and this was my view every day. And this place is just one of those towns where you can just look anywhere and the view is absolutely amazing. And this was my first mission of the holiday, climbing the King's Crown. So this is me getting the train up to Wengen. And then I didn't get much footage, but this is from the top. It was about a 2-hour walk up to the top of the cable car, which you could choose to get up to if you wanted to. And then it's a short walk up to the main panoramic viewpoint. This was an amazing little spot just to have a little bit of lunch and look at the Eiger, Monch and Jungfrau. So that was day 1 done. Very nice way to settle in. And then day 2 had something a bit more exciting. Well, hey, I'm all geared up, about to do the Via Ferrata in Murren. There we go, that's the route. This is the start. Let's go. This was just one of those things you have to tick off if you come here, but be prepared. The queues can get quite long because it is quite a popular activity in Lauterbrunnen and Murren. Absolutely worth it though, look at this view. And this bridge was something else. It was so shaky, but it was so cool. So I finished that in about 3 hours, if there's any of you wondering. Would I do it again? Probably not. The queues were quite long. I had a guy up my arse the whole time, pause. It all depends on who you've got around you. There was quite a slow group in front of us and a guy behind me who clearly just wanted to power through, even though there wasn't an option to. But it was good. You should definitely try it if you're ever going there. It was only like 35 francs, but you have to make a reservation at the Intersport in Murren. I then had a very nice relaxing evening after the Via Ferrata, because the next day I was taken on the Schildhorn. There she is, standing at 2,970 metres, the Schildhorn, otherwise known as 007, James Bond mountain. The views on this walk were unmatched. They're all up there with the Mont Blanc Massif, the Jungfrau region. All in all, the walk wasn't actually that hard. It was hot, so I had to cool off in the river, but it took us around 3.5 hours with quite a lot of incline. But then you were greeted with stuff like this beautiful man-made lake all the way at the top. It was quite cold by then, so it wasn't worth a swim, but the views were absolutely unreal. As you start to get higher, it starts to get steeper and the path starts to disappear, so you've got to stay focused. But it was a very good walk and it wasn't too hard.
and then eventually we made it to the top, and the building is absolutely unreal. It's so cool. And yeah, these are the views from the top. Then once we'd had a little bit of a rest, we went to explore, went to this pool, found a Hooters, which was quite cool for the first time, and then checked into a hotel in Interlaken. Then I was chilling in the hostel, as you do, going through all the leaflets of the activities, and I saw a helicopter skydive. I checked my bank, just see if it was affordable, and went for it. This may have been, hands down, the coolest thing I've ever done. All down purely to the fact that it was because it was out of a helicopter. It was so much different to jumping out of a plane. Partly because I got to enjoy the views so much more without just getting sucked straight out of the plane. Also because now I've done a few jumps, instead of being absolutely terrified, I was able just to enjoy it without feeling scared. Obviously having a mad adrenaline rush, but being able to enjoy the experience. So yeah, I'm always going to recommend any kind of skydiving, but any skydiving in Lauterbrunnen or Interlaken, 100% recommend. I'll put the company here who I went with. They were all great people. Yeah, it was awesome. So after an amazing time in Switzerland, it was then time to get on a train and head off to Innsbruck. This train journey wasn't too bad. I only had a few changes. It took around 6 hours, but yeah, eventually I made it to Innsbruck. I'll be here for a few more days, and then after that I'm off to Slovenia to meet up with Braden. But yeah, thank you very much for watching.